Intelligence. I'm Intox, along with
BDot, baby.
Hey, let's get it, bro.
That's just how we play. Astral projections. Astral projections. Yeah, astral projections. I'm getting that shit like all the way from goddamn another solar system.
Yo, what's happening? So, as you can see, it's just me today. So welcome to episode 112. Yeah, coming to you from somewhere out of space, you know. So, yeah, episode 112. What the fuck's going on? BDot couldn't be with us today. So we decided to just do something different. Just give y'all something different, you know. How about we just do 45-minute Intox rant? No, just kidding. We'll have some fun. We're going to have some fun. But no, we're going to get into some topics. I mean, a lot of shit going on in the world. A lot of shit happening out there right now. You know, the drones are still here. They're just not talking about them. What they try to tell us on the news the other day. You see that? They try to say, oh, they were all authorized. Then why couldn't they just say that? They could have said that a month ago, 2 months ago. They could have said it. Why didn't they say it? They're going to tell us now, oh, they were all authorized, FAA, all that good stuff, right? They could have just told us that, but they didn't. So what's the agenda? Yeah, so you got that. Drones are still out there, you know what I mean? What else is happening? Bunch of executive orders, slashing everything. Yeah, I mean, putting freezes on things. Yeah, it's like, come on, people. Y'all got to remember what's going on here. You know, it's a lot. It's more than just the headlines, obviously, but it's deeper than that even. You know, it's deeper than the headlines even. So, you know, you got to think deeper. You know, part of the immigration scenario is the human trafficking part. You know, there's a lot of that going on that's involved in that, where there's so much money involved. It's been proven that the CIA, the three-letter agencies, you know, a lot of those different things, they're part of all this. You know, they're part of all this stuff. And so you got to think it's deeper than what you're actually seeing and being told, obviously, because you're not ready. None of us are probably ready for what's really fucking going on. We can sit here and speculate all day. And we, you know, welcome to Awkward Intelligence. We've been doing it for 112 episodes, you know, trying to bring the information to everybody. You know, and that's what it is. It's just because, you know, the awakening really comes down to waking up to the fact that everything around you is a lie, you know. And so once you see that, you start to go down the rabbit hole, you know, and it's anyway, it could be, remember we've talked about it before, it could be anything. It's synchronicities, you know, it could be a dream, it could be a premonition, you know, somebody else could say something that triggers something. You never know. You never know what it's gonna be. But it's just the idea is that you got to be there, be ready when the opportunity comes together. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to do with this episode as well is open up with another song, a full song, a song I wrote back in April of last year called Talking to the People, because that's what's happening right now. The people are talking, shit's going down, and we're seeing results, like instant results, you know. So I just want y'all to check this out again. I know I played this a while back, last year's episode in April. It's probably when I put this out, but it's more relevant today than ever. And once again, it's not a premonition. I'm not a prophet. but I can feel these energies, and I'm reading the signs, and I'm decoding the shit, and that's where I'm getting all these stuff. And we'll go into some more of that. But let's check this out. Talking to the people.
Whacking them Don't call me the GOAT. Shit, call me the lamb. Connected to source, cause you know that I am. I studied the plan, now get yourself right. I'm waking you up, I'm here to save your life. So just take a look, cause the news is so fake. But don't hesitate, cause your soul is at stake. Now drop the illusion, and stop the collusion, and all this confusion. Who the fuck are you fooling? Religion is dead, the journey is spiritual. Every day I'm proving wonders and miracles. The people want answers, the people want truth. Faced with those circumstances, what would you do? Now our children are dying, but everybody keeps working. Your pastor's a pedophile and you still in them churches. When will you see it? When will you know it? You say that you understand, but you don't ever show it. I'm just talking to the people, it's us against them. Your neighborhood congressman is not your friend. They are trying to kill us, they are keeping us sick. So I'm waking up the world with shit like this. Open your third eye and let your light shine. Operate in love and light, and you will feel divine. I no longer pray, I command my intentions. When I walk in the room, all the energy shifted. So I need you to listen and gain some clarity, cause I rise like a rose. If they try to bury me, I do this for humanity. Guardians of the galaxy, awkward intelligence, respect my faculty. I'm here for truth, I'm spreading the love. The government has failed us, they fucking it up. So I'm calling them out. Fuck you and your taxes. The Dems and Republicans are arrogant bastards. It's a spiritual war, it's a fight for your soul. Keep shining in the darkness and blinding them, no. So I'm blazing the trail, just follow the lead. If you sitting at my table, then we all gon' eat. And behind the scenes, yeah, they putting in work. It's the greatest wealth transfer, the last shall be first. Talking to the people, it's us against them. Your neighborhood congressman is not your friend. They are trying to kill us, they are keeping us sick. So I'm waking up the world with shit like this. Open your third eye and let your light shine. Operate in love and light, and you will feel divine.
So that's just a little tidbit, you know what I mean? That's just a little tidbit and a seed I planted last year, because I knew shit was going to go the way it was going to go. You know what I mean? We were, not that I knew, but you know what I mean? It was like I was watching it. I was decoding it. I was building as I was going. And that's what I was feeling at the time. That's what I came up with. And it just makes sense, It just made sense. And maybe it wasn't for that time. Maybe it's for now. You know what I mean? I've done that with a couple of songs. Remember I said there's a couple different songs, if you remember back, and we talked about how I said certain things in the songs, and then I actually got it from like something in the future. So it's almost like I must have seen it in a dream, wrote it, put it together, and then it happened months later, That happened. And that's happened on a bunch of things, you know what I mean? I've had premonition dreams, per se, of things and not even knowing that they were real. I just had dreams about things. And then next thing I know, it's like instead of deja vu, it's just fucking happening right in front of you. And you're like, I remember this in the dream. I remember doing this, like vividly, the whole scene, not just one thing, but the whole scene. I've had, things like that. And like I said, I'm not having these dreams thinking they're going to be anything. And then they just happen to come true. in perfect alignment with what I saw in the dream. And it's just crazy. You can't, I think about it sometimes because I'm thinking about, when I was younger and I had encyclopedias and stuff, I used to look through those encyclopedias and, they had stuff about Loch Ness Monster. They had stuff about Bigfoot. They had stuff about paranormal stuff. They had stuff about, who remembers spontaneous combustion? You know what I mean? Remember that? Spontaneous human combustion? Where did that go? It just disappeared, but it was in the encyclopedias talking about, early 20s or something. People were just bursting into fucking flames, and it was like they were being cooked from the inside out, because a lot of times the phenomenon was like they'd be laying in bed and their whole body would burn, but the bed wouldn't. It's like it would be like 1 foot, a knuckle, and then just a burned hole, but the bed and the whole room didn't burn. And so you look at the phenomenon back then, it was just a phenomenon, spontaneous human combustion. But now that we know more today, for all we know, that could have been a directed energy weapon. That could have also been spontaneous human combustion, meaning, we've talked about it. We have a sun in our solar plexus. That's what keeps us heated, is we have a universe inside of us that keeps us heated. And so it's like, yeah, if that ever went into, you got to hit the wrong vibrations, hit the wrong frequencies, maybe you could make it work like fission or nuclear or something like that, and it explodes and just goes into a flash burn real quick, which is what creates that spontaneous human combustion. I mean, there's so many opportunities. I mean, so much out there now. All we got to do is do the research and think about it, and look it up and see what happens. That's what all this is about. Do the research. So that's the thing. It's like sometimes, isn't it crazy nowadays where you're watching a movie, any movie, show, whatever, and then you see somebody in that movie and you're like, that person looks familiar. And then you got to think of a movie from like 15, 20 years ago, and you're like, he was in this movie. And then you just go down that rabbit hole and you're trying to find all this stuff, and you're like, oh, connected to this and this person. So, think about that too. How crazy is this? It's some new shit I started learning about. I probably said this before in different ways, but like all these celebrities, right? We think there's thousands and thousands of these celebrities out here. But what if there's not? Maybe if there's only a couple hundred celebrities, like, movie stars and stuff like that, right? And all they do is go from role to role, and they become a new person doing new movies. And when they get tired of that role, they switch to another role. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. That's all I'm saying. It's so much to think about out here. There's so much going on out here. One thing I wanted to talk about too was lately, Twitter. I've been scrolling Twitter, X, I guess now, whatever they want to call it. X, and you tweet things on X, whatever. But that place is a fucking cesspool of shit. There is so much going on there. It is just, I must not be following the right shit or something, because pretty much if I was just following Twitter, I would be getting a more democratic, liberal view from just Twitter. Whatever my Twitter is on, I don't know if they're pushing that to me on purpose, because I haven't fucked with my following shit in fucking years, so who knows what's going on this motherfucking thing, right? But it's like every other post is just fucking spewing hate and trash for the president, left and fucking right. And it's like, but the thing is if you look at it from just scrolling and you kind of just read that headline, you know what I mean? it could get you, you start getting, you know what I mean? It could get you, I could see how people could just take offense to all that in whatever way, if they're with it or they're against it, and then just start kind of wanting to go at each other. But the crazy part is about it is once some of them I click on to see what people are actually saying, see what the comments are, and the comments sometimes are all against what the headline said. Like, or, you know, like, or proving it wrong or whatever the deal is. But if you don't go in there and look, you just take the headline. A lot of times, you know, if you just did that, you could see how easily people could just go through their scroll, and that's what they come up with. They're like, oh, based on everything I just read, here's what everybody's probably thinking. But they're not going in, they may not be going in and then reading a bunch of different, you know, comments in order to see, you know, what is everybody actually saying about this? Because a lot of those things on Twitter, man, they're just making money, man. They're just there to make money, just to get the likes, just to get the retweets. They're there just to spew the hate on purpose so that they can get the fucking likes. That's what's crazy about it. It's like as much as they want to talk about Elon going in there and fixing it, it feels more of a cesspool. I mean, here's the thing. I wasn't on it in 2020 for the most part. I wasn't scrolling Twitter back then as much as I probably do now. If I was doing it, it was very, very, very little, you know? So I don't know when they were cutting people out back then, when they were taking people down and they were, blocking people and stuff like that back then. I don't know how much of a cesspool it was back then. But now, it's fucking crazy. I don't know. If y'all are on Twitter, tell me, put it in the comments, man. Are y'all seeing some of this same shit too? Where it just feels like everybody in there is just trying to fucking start a fight, you know? And like I said, could it be some of the people I'm following or whatever? Like I said, I haven't fucked with it in a while. So I haven't cleaned it up like I cleaned up my Instagram because that's what I wanted to talk about. Since my Instagram got cleaned up, that's at ppeintox. Since that got cleaned up, it's like I don't see any, like I have a little bit of people in there saying stuff, but for the most part, when they say it, they back it up with evidence. And they say, here's what I'm seeing based on this. And so you can see the evidence and go, okay, I can go look that up and try to see what they're thinking, you know, see where they got that from. And so they might go, this is why I'm thinking about this. But they're not really on there just spewing hate. They're just debating. We're just talking about things. We're just going, look at this. Check this out. If this person, you know, they might go, if this person's such a good person, why do they have this going on? And then they'll give you where to go get the stuff or whatever. So at least you can try and figure out, you know, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Where's this coming from? Is it made up? Who knows, right? But you got to dig a little bit. And so I'm starting to see like where it could really easily go off the rails, you know? I don't know. Tell me what y'all are feeling out there. Tell me what y'all are thinking. Have y'all even cleaned up your shit? Or are your social medias out there just fucking wild? Because Twitter's the only one for me that's still wild. I just let it. I want to say I cleaned it up a tiny bit. And when I cleaned it up a tiny bit, what I did was I got rid of all the strippers and the fucking, you know, porn stars and the craziness like that. I got rid of that stuff because I was following a lot of them too. Just because it was, you know, it was like it was a new thing. When could you follow a fucking porn star? You know, that's never been a thing. So you had to try it. You know, you got to fucking check it out. But like I said, in the end, what was the point of all that? I mean, unless I was going to fucking, you know, work with them or something, what's the point of following them? You know, and it's celebrities in general for the most part. You know, what's the point of following a person unless you're really into them for a reason? You're like you'll follow certain artists because you want to find out stuff about when they're putting new songs out and when they're doing different things. That's, you know, that sounds cool. But like, you know, depending on what they're saying and what they're doing, like, why would I follow any celebrities from Hollywood and stuff? Because like, what are they really saying? None of them are saying anything that I need to really fucking pay attention to. It's not helping me out, you know, but I could be wrong. Put it in the comments. Let me know. because I know, you know what I mean? I know people out there are inspirational, all that stuff like that. They do that too. I'm just saying, but you don't follow too many people like that. You know, for the most part, if you're following people, it's because they've got a good, you know, especially on Twitter or something like that. You're following them because the information they're putting out is good information. Like you feel like you're getting good information from them. So Twitter, like what people used to tell me Twitter became around, you know, 2018, 2020 and stuff like that at the time was just, it was people on there just, they're just kind of, what was it? Shit. I almost lost it there. It's like they said it turned into where people just kind of hung out. They would just say stuff and just talk a little bit and people would just communicate back. They'd have a group of, you know, people that just kind of went on there and you left messages per se. You know what I mean? It became like a message wall or something. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, then it became information. By 2020, it became information where people were getting fast information. And so now things break on Twitter and break on Instagram and other things before they break on the news. And it's partly because these places are instant, you know, especially because things are going live and stuff like that. But because the news is fake as fuck. We know that. The news is fake as fuck. So they're only going to give us the information they want us to have. The information you really need, you got to go seek it, you know. Oh, I didn't even know what I wanted to hit there. There it is. You got to go seek it. And so that's the whole, you know, do your research and all that stuff like that. You're going to seek that information. So what else is happening out here? Oh, AI. You seen that AI shit? AI is coming in strong, coming in hot. Talking about that shit. They said, so you got like stuff like OpenAI and ChatGPT, right? But China just snuck in with some fucking freeware and just tossed some shit into the fucking pool for free called DeepSeek. Y'all heard about this shit? It's called DeepSeek. And they just tossed it in the pool and said, here you go. And so, you know, when you look at like Trump and the Stargate initiative, where they're going to bring AI and do all this stuff with AI and they're going to invest all this money, it just shows you China over here spending $5 million and it just tosses some shit into the pool real quick and goes, here you go. And it actually did some shit. It kind of, you know what I mean? It made a splash. It definitely made a splash. And so, yeah, so it's like, what are they spending all this fucking money on? You know what I mean? What are they spending all this money on? Where's all this money really fucking going? Because if they can do this shit, y'all trying to spend like $500 billion or some shit on this, and they're talking about they did this shit with $5 million. So what the fuck are y'all doing out here? So you know what I mean? There's still some fuckery going on. You know, there's still some shit happening, and that's the stuff we got to watch out for. But you know what I mean? But there's a lot of other stuff. You know, like another thing, DEI programs, right, and stuff like that. There's some other programs that got frozen, but DEI got canceled and this and that, right? And so we got to look at the overall, right, and where we're going. We had a lot of these restrictions and laws and things like that put in place because people weren't being treated very fair, you know? And so it started with people not, you know, civil rights. We remember the civil rights. People weren't being treated fair. And so, you know, you had to fight for your rights and all these different things, right? But the DEI programs, a lot of those were just people fucking taking our money. It had nothing to do with really fucking, you know, making sure people were getting the right qualified jobs and weren't being treated wrong. You know what I mean? It really wasn't even doing that in a lot of ways. So they're looking, and you know what I mean? And when you think about it, it's like, what did MLK say? He said, let's get judged by our character, not our color, not our religion, not our gender, not our, you see what I'm saying? So we don't need these things in our way right now. What we need to do is come together as fucking people of a nation who want better for everyone. We want to be able to raise our kids and raise our grandkids and do all these things and have a decent home that is not super expensive and be able to afford a working vehicle, you know, and not have to slave 40, 80, 100 hours a week just to fucking live. You know what I mean? And so, you know, most of us are on that. All of us are on that. So it's like, let's just come together with that. And as we're in the, you know, we're in the shit now, slashing and crashing all kinds of shit. And it's going to feel like turmoil at first because the system's being fucking torn apart. So of course it's going to fucking feel crazy. You know, like that's how it's supposed to feel. But the thing is you got to remember, everything that's happening for us right now is happening for our greater good. And we're not going to let it get to some crazy fascist shit. You know what I mean? That's why we still have the Second Amendment. I mean, you know, I put it on the Twitter the Instagram. I put it on the Instagram the other day. Check this out. This is something that I was looking at. And it says, the Second Amendment to the United States, ratified on December 15th, 1791, protects the right to keep and bear arms. It states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, to me, it's pretty fucking clear. You know what I'm saying? That we're being infringed. Because if, you know, it's one thing to do background checks and mental checks and whatever, you know, little things. It's okay. You can check me and make sure I'm not some fucking weirdo, right? I get it. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is, now I got to get a concealed permit. Now I got to get a handgun license. And now I got to get this. And every state's different. But what I'm saying is, it said shall not be infringed. What that means to me, like I said, because it sounds clear to me, is the restrictions by these licenses and different things feel like infringement. You see what I'm saying? How has nobody ever argued that case to the Supreme Court? You know what I mean? Is by putting any restrictions on what I can do with my guns once I have, you know what I mean? And like I said, there could be basic laws of, you know, decency laws is what you know what I mean? Where when you know what I mean? Because like I said, different states, they can carry their guns in their cars, their handguns. No problem. You know what I mean? And then you got other states who are restriction and you can't do this. You know, some people have open carry and some people have, it's so much shall not be infringed. And then how about we just open carry? What do we have to conceal for? If we all know it's all, you know what I mean? And it's like, there goes everybody. We're going back to the cowboy days, old Wild West, where we just had a, yeah, but you know what? A lot of shit wasn't going down back then either. You know what I mean? And that's even if that shit's real. or is that just another fucking story they fed us? You know what I mean? To get us to go against the Indians because it was always cowboys and Indians, right? Unbelievable. There's the first one. I knew you guys were waiting for it. Yeah, no BDot. It's different. It's fucking different. But yeah, think about that, right? Cowboys and Indians type shit. So we've talked about this. Remember, I went to the museums and shit. So, you know what I mean? They made them out as savages. These fucking savages. But you know what? If you were infringing on my land, just like they do now, right? Where do you think they learned it from? Where do you think the hillbillies learned it from? When they talk, what you doing on my land, boy? Where do you think they heard? Where do you think they got that from? When we was telling them motherfuckers, get back. You infringing on my shit. You know what I mean? The original people that were here before the U.S. became a thing. You know what I mean? And the thing is we was good people back then. We didn't have no problems. That's the reason why they're here. Is, you know, everybody wants to think, well, how did we get taken over if we were so good? Because we was good people and we let them in and we said, hey, we don't mind sharing with y'all, But the thing is they created a system, the system we're in now, the government. That's what they created, a government that then started pulling our rights and shit away from the beginning and started putting taxes on us and started creating IRSs and started creating FBIs. None of this stuff existed, and we had no issues. These, you got to remember, these, like I said earlier, these 3-letter agencies, they are the cartels. So that executive order that Trump signed the other day that said we're now going after the cartels, it's not just the border cartels. Well, they're running those too, but you know what I'm saying. It's the 3-letter agencies. The 3-letter agencies are cartels in themselves too. Nobody's going to get away. You gave him 4 years to plan this, and it's going it's fucking shaking the system. It's shaking the system, you know. And we're gonna see. Like I said, we're gonna see how it goes. And if shit gets crazy, you know what I mean. We still have the Second Amendment and a well-regulated militia. That's all I'm saying. It was built for this. We have continuity of government. We'll figure this out. It's not going to get, you know what I mean? Think about it. We already talked about this. In 2020, we were supposed to have the jab. Or not the jab. By 2020, we weren't even going to get the jab. The jab was like second plan. In 2016, 2017, we were supposed to get put in the FEMA camps. Remember back in the day when they was talking about 1,800 FEMA camps around the United States, and they had like millions and millions of these fucking black coffins. Remember those early ones around early 2000s, you know? Everybody was like, what are all these coffins for? Just being scattered down to Georgia, in different areas. They had them stacked, you know? And everybody was like, what's this stuff all about? People were fucking figuring this stuff out back then, you know? But you got to remember, we jumped a timeline. We jumped timelines in 2012. That's what that was. And that took us off the timeline of going to these FEMA camps and ending up with the jabs, the real jabs. Yeah, I don't think we got the real jabs. I think they gave us a bunch of bullshit, which is the way it was supposed to work. You know what I mean? Yeah, we still had some issues, but I think that was coming from other things. It was them trying to, what's the word? Exacerbate it or whatever. Is that the word? I think it was them just trying shit, you know? And, you know, we did have some stuff go on. Some real people did unalive, you know? They did go down. You know, a lot of us lost a bunch of different people in a bunch of different ways, you know, over the last few years. But you got to think, too, that if this is all working out for our greater good, if what we're seeing is part of a simulation and stuff like that, right? And everybody's just playing a role in this fucking movie, well, then all of this happened for a reason. To lead us and push us in the right direction so that we can get this shit done, you know? Because remember, in our dreams and all these things, we're doing work in the astral levels. You know, we're doing work. And then it's reflecting here, and we just don't even realize it. We're fucking, look at this, check this out. If I was like some super secret agent, this would be the perfect costume. Look at it. Look. Nobody fucking suspects it at all. Nobody fucking suspects it. This would be the perfect fucking costume, right? That's all I'm saying. Think about it. We're all doing work somewhere because this isn't everything. We know there's, you know what I mean? We talked about the telepathy tapes and the consciousness and all that stuff, right? There's more going on out here. We got parallel worlds. We got parallel dimensions. We got realms. There's so much going on out here. You know, vibration, frequency, you know, all these different things happening, you know, and we're not even sure that gravity is even fucking real anymore. Gravity's a fucking lie at this point. Because most people are saying It's not gravity that's fucking holding all this shit together. It's electricity. We're electrical. We're in an electrical grid, you know, and then you've got that double slit test, right? And so whenever you look at something, it creates a state. But when you're not looking at it, it's all, you know, it's in two places, more places, entanglement, quantum, craziness, right? But then you look at it, and then now it's a thing. I look at this, and now I know it's a microphone. But if I'm not looking at it, how do I know it's even there? Yeah. But, you know, that's the other thing, too, is wrap your mind around this shit. So, you know how they say we can manifest, right? Well, somebody manifested every single thing we see, right? It was a vision, and then you had to put it together and create it. So everything was manifested, right? But think about it. If you were a race of beings or entities or whatever, and you can't create, right? You would obviously get some people that you could manipulate so they could create. So that's one part of it, right? But the thing is think about it. If you could truly, truly, truly create, you wouldn't have to keep everything around all the time. When I need this setup, I can just create it and create this setup, right? You know what I mean? So, but if I don't need it, why do I need it to be here? But that's the thing. That's how powerful you are. You're so powerful that you can manifest and create something, and it actually stays here. Other people can see it. It's real. It's part of the 3D world, and it stays here. You have to think about the processing power it takes to manifest something like this and keep it right here. And I can touch it, hold it, feel it, all the different things it can do, right? That's true manifestation, and you know what I mean? Like, we don't think about it that way. But if I didn't need this, it would just go away, disappear. But when I need it, it would just pop back up, because then it doesn't take any processing power. It doesn't take any power for that to go away. I can just only power up when I need it. Do you see what I'm getting at? I don't know. Y'all following me? That's how crazy this shit is. Because you can just create things when your mind is that powerful to be able to just go. But we're so low density. We've been pushed down so strong that we can just create and hold. Our processing power is putting this together right now as a collective. You know, all of us together. We're all manifesting all this shit. That's why they say as you awaken, you get lighter. Because we're letting go of attachments. We're letting go of shit. That's why some of y'all right now are probably out there, you know, having emotional moments in these last few weeks, you know, is because we're moving into an era where these light codes coming in are just upgrading and evolving us so quickly that there's no time to fucking wallow in bullshit. You got to just hit it and go. Get that shit out and keep moving, you know? That's how crazy this is. It's how wild the ride is. But we're doing it. That's the specialness, is we're doing it, and we're taking our bodies with us. That's the part that's never been done. Usually people just evolve and go, you know, but we're bringing our 3D body with us, because that's how powerful we are. We can manifest it and hold it. See, otherwise, why do you think they got wiped out? They wiped them out so they could start again. We don't get wiped out this time. We're bringing it all with us. That's the strength and power that's inside of you. Wow. Wow. Wrap your head around that shit. All this metaphysical stuff, spiritual, mental consciousness, you know what I mean? That's how powerful that shit is. 3D world. You know, something's fucking power in this world. You know what I mean? Something's power in it. There's no way it all just exists. You got to power it, you know? And then that also goes in tune with Earth. You know, Earth is an entity too. That's why that's the whole point of being connected, grounded, is you're connected to that consciousness, to that idea. You're getting that flow of energy in you so that you react properly. The Earth asks for things too. We're just here to take care of it. That's it. We're not supposed to be destructive, you know? That's the whole point of energy, right? This energy can be reformed. So if I don't want this to be this right now, because I don't need it right now, you know, just hypothetically, I need it right now. But if I don't need it right now, I can turn this into something else and have something else over here. And then when I need this, I can just turn it back. You know what I mean? Like that's being able to flow with the energy. Right now, we can just create it, and now it's here. It's not going nowhere. But that's even power. You see what I'm saying? So look at all of that. It's all different. You know what I mean? Think about like the Marvel movies, like any of the fucking superhero movies and shit, right? Most of the time, what happens? Shit goes down and they just go, and their fucking uniform pops on, fucking staff pops up, you know, like if it's fucking, you know, different shit or, you know, whatever, or a sword pops up. It's because they're manifesting that shit in the moment. That's a certain power. But manifesting stuff and it holding, that's a different power too. You see what I'm saying? But see how you don't have to go nowhere because you just go, oh, I need my sword. I can get it right now. Because it's always there. You just have to know how to grab it out of the ether. You know what I mean? But these things are just here. They're not going nowhere. They're staying here until you destroy them or get rid of them. That's a whole different power. And when there's when there's entities that take advantage of that, they take advantage of that power. Think about how powerful that is too. That's a whole different thing too. Know what I mean? Wild shit. But yeah, that's why it's all about community, man. We got to step up. And we got to be better with each other, you know. And I'm seeing it, you know, for the most part. When I go places and stuff, you know, like I told you before, it's not a bunch of foolishness for the most part. Everybody's being pretty cool, you know. Everybody's, you know, saying thank you and please and, you know, excuse me and different stuff, you know what I mean? Nobody's being too crazy, you know what I mean? At least in most of the places I go, you know what I mean? I'm not seeing it, you know. You know, you see a little bit here and there, obviously, but you know what I mean? It's people are being better. They're understanding it. They're feeling it. The energies are different. I mean, look at the sun. We talked about this. Look at the sun. Is it still yellow or is it a little more white nowadays? You know, like what's going on with this thing? Why is it changing colors? You know, have we changed dimensions? Did we change timelines? Why is it happening? Why is anything happening? But yeah, you know what I mean? Stuff's happening because, you know what I mean? Like, this is what everybody's talking about. Everybody's on this shit. Consciousness is evolving. It's a whole nother world. You got to remember, we're not in the doom and gloom package. We didn't get the doom and gloom package. You know what I mean? So yeah. So, so just look at everything that's going on that you can control and just work there. Fix that. Once if everybody's working on themselves, we're all going to be working on each other as it goes. That's how the collective works, That's how it works. We all work on ourselves. Collectively, we're all going to get better together. And faster. Better, faster, stronger. Who remembers that shit? Put them in the comments. So yeah, episode 112, Intox solo show. Just trying something different too. I could have seen if people wanted to jump in and have a conversation, but another thing is, let's do something. It's 2025. We gave y'all 100 episodes already. So you've noticed over the past, 5-7 episodes, we've been doing some different things. We've been trying some new things. We've been trying to evolve a little bit ourselves. That way we don't just get, caught up in the same mundane bullshit every day. So yeah, trying to bring some new ideas and some new things out there too. I got rid of the rants and I still haven't figured out exactly where I'm going to go yet. I might do like some breaking news shit or something and just drop it as it comes, kind of thing, and just do little things like that or something I can just drop real quick, at any given time. You know what I mean? Like there's no schedule. That's what I'll probably do. I'll try to do some shit, no schedule. I see some shit, I'll just drop it and just see what goes, see what happens. You know what I mean? Just like everybody else. Instead of making a schedule, just kind of just see how it flows. Might work on something like that. So stay tuned to the channel. Stay tuned and see what comes out of it. We're doing new shit in 2025. You know what I'm saying? We left all that old shit in 2024, man. We're doing some new shit. You can miss me with that other shit. You know what I'm saying. Did y'all notice the cover? Got a new what do they call it? Fucking filter. What's it called? Mic pop filter. Got a pop filter, but it's built specifically for the mic. So you can get in different colors. A multitude of colors. So not a product placement, but like I said, just trying some new shit. Trying to see what's cool. Hope you like it. And I'm in outer space. We're doing this from fucking up in the ship. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Just trying some different shit. It's the end of fucking January. We're already a month in. What's going on, folks? Where's this time going? We're a month in already. Wow. What else is happening? Let's see. Talked about the Twitter. Oh, crypto. You guys watching this crypto action? They're still calling it crypto, but we're going to call it digital assets. Y'all got y'all some digital assets? Because over the last month, XRP went from 40 cents to $3 and some change. What was it called? XLM went from 11 cents to, it's sitting at 40, but it went as high as like 60 something at one point. But it's sitting at around 40 right now. What's it called? Oh, Trump dropped a coin. That thing, they rug pulled that bitch already though. You knew that was going to happen. But I don't know. They said it was an official Trump coin. I don't know if y'all heard about it. It was an official Trump coin that dropped, and it got up to like, I think it got up to like $70, $80 per coin. Started at like, I think it started at 5 or something. Went up to like 80 something, and then they rug pulled that bitch. That bitch is at like 20 right now. And then, but yeah, so the ones you got to be worried about for the most part are stuff like XLM, stuff like XRP, HBAR, Solana is making a move on some shit. You know, something to think about. Look at. I don't know. You might know some stuff already. You might know enough. Drop it in the fucking comments. Give me some fucking clues. But yeah, those things have been on the move for a minute here. We're getting ready for another run. You know what I mean? That's the idea. And so they believe with the legislation that's happening and the executive orders that are being thrown out there, that it opens up our treasury to connect to digital assets. And if that happens, the money's going to flow at that point, and we're all going to have a piece of that. And that's what's going to be cool. That's part of that wealth transfer, you know? That's part of it. You know, another thing with the wealth transfer too, right, is what some people, I don't know if they're recognizing this, you know, is over the last 10 years, give or take, right? Since 2014 or whatever. Let's go as far back as maybe 2014. If you look at the awakening, you can look back at some people who started awakening 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018, as people were, you know, waking up as we're now in 2025, right? Those people back then, like, they were still going through their final processes as they were waking up, right? And so some of those processes might have been, you know, family members that passed, you know, kids that passed, different things like that, right? Jobs that, you know, that they lost and different things, right? But the thing is within that, some of those people had opportunity there that they didn't even think about, which was life insurance and investments and different things that were popping off. And, you know, Bitcoin, you know, jumping up like it did. All these things were happening, right? And everybody's going, you know, everybody's trying to get a piece of it, right? But the thing is those people were in the right place at the right time because that was their blessing for that moment. They got pushed up. You know what I mean? They got pushed up. Now they're up here now. They're living more comfortable. They're not having to worry about that day-to-day bullshit anymore. They got most of their bills paid. And then as we went into 2020, people lost their jobs and got, and then, you know, went home and started doing this shit, started talking to motherfuckers on the internet. And they started getting new jobs and finding new people and chasing their passions and doing stuff. And so they got elevated. So there's a level of people there, right, that got elevated and got some of that weight lifted off of them so they don't have to struggle every day being truck drivers and fucking doing that shit, right? And so these next generation people are stepping into those roles, and everybody's just stepping up right now. But it's happening quickly. That's the thing, and it's going to happen more and more and faster. That's what's going on. People are retiring right now. You know what I mean? Different things are happening like that. And those are blessings that we're not seeing as blessings. We're seeing them as turmoil and trauma that we went through to get that. But you know what? It was a blessing. It was left to us on purpose so that we could be more comfortable, so that we would have more opportunity in the future. We just didn't see it that way at the time. I mean, and that's why I don't think people are recognizing that. You know, things are happening in different ways. It's not happening the way you thought it was. We're not all fucking selling off into the sun, you know, because we had good stocks and we had good pensions and we had all these good things or whatever. All of that shit. I mean, there was the stock market crash in 2008. Took down a lot of motherfuckers. You know what I mean? A lot of shit was going on. So that was them still in the money, you know, but then we were able to get opportunities for it to rise. And the thing is, if you were doing your research at the time, if you were paying attention, if you were, looking at some of that stuff, you would have been there. You'd have had 100 Bitcoin at the time just to hold and been like, I'm just going to put this away because I know it's going to be part of something. You didn't get that calling. It wasn't for you. It wasn't your time. You had more work to do. Your blessings down the road. You know what I mean? That's what everybody's waiting for. Everybody's waiting for their blessing. And the thing is we just got to keep rocking, and we know it's coming. It's on the way. We're in 2025, and it's the end of fucking January already. This planet is moving. The conscience is moving. We're doing shit. So yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you for sticking around. Some of y'all probably were like, no BDot, I'm out. I appreciate it if you stuck around. So yeah, but the thing is here is it's just me today, and I know it feels different. It does. It fucking feels different. I can feel it. And so that's why I was like, I'm going to do it. I want to try it. I haven't really done it like this myself, to talk for fucking hours and some change. I haven't done it. So I thought maybe I'd give it a try just to see how it feels, see what it's like. Because, you know what I mean? I'm just fucking staring at a camera right now. There's nobody to bounce any ideas off of. I just have to come up with the shit, and I'm talking, and it's crazy. It's weird. It's different when you're doing it by yourself. It definitely is. It's a different experience. Yeah. I'm seeing that now. It's a whole different experience. And there's a lot of people that do this. But that's what ends up happening though with them is, instead of them just talking to the camera specifically, they end up they do a chat and stuff like that, active chat. And so people are actually asking, commenting and talking, and they're kind of talking to them, but talking to the camera too. So I see how that works. If somebody was chatting with me right now and we could be having conversations and I'm talking, oh yeah, okay. You know what I mean? I see how that works too. You see it on the podcast and you're like, you understand that part, but there's some people that are just talking to the camera and you're just like, wow, this is a different experience. I'm glad I got to do it. It shows you a different side of it. How, and you see, and y'all will be able to see it. Y'all be able to go, damn, that energy was different in the show, or whatever. I don't know if it is or not, but it definitely feels like it to me in some way. It definitely feels different. The energy is different, but also the lighting's different. The way I put this together is a little different. So yeah, I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know where, I had ideas like any other day. I have ideas of where I'm going to go, where I want to go, what we want. But that's the thing, right, is I just put the ideas together and then I file them somewhere. And then once we hit record, I just start fucking spitting them out. Just start hitting points, And sometimes I don't get to all of them. We talked about that before. Sometimes I don't get to all of them. But, what's interesting is being able to do this, and the way I'm able to do it is it does feel like a superpower sometimes with the whole, I just put the ideas in there and then I remember all this shit and I can articulate it. I can put it together and talk, and I always think back as much as I think back, when I was a kid, teenager, and I remember saying, I'm going to do something influential and I'm going to be talking. I said, but I'm not going to be the normal speaker. I remember saying that as a kid. I remember telling my mom, and I'm not sure, like I said, my mom says she doesn't remember it that way per se. And long time ago, fucking 30 years ago. So, it's hard to remember some of these things. And we've shifted timelines. We've shifted stuff. So who knows? Maybe that didn't even fucking happen, in this fucking timeline. So that's why she don't remember, But yeah, I remember saying that I'm going to be a speaker. I said, I'm going to be a speaker, but I said, but not like the normal speaker. And like I said, podcast wasn't made back then. We didn't even know what that was. So, and then that's why, like, when it came together, and we started looking at it and thinking about doing this, I was like, this must be it. That's what kind of pushed me into it too, was because it was like, this is something I couldn't explain when I was young. I couldn't explain what it was, but this is what I was seeing. I was seeing me talking, but I didn't know how to explain it. This wasn't, it was like, what do you mean? I didn't know what I meant. I didn't know what it all meant, but I was just like, I know it's going to be something. So here we are, Awkward Intelligence. Thanks for sticking around. But yeah, I'm going to keep this one short. Let y'all get on with your day. You can only listen to me talk straight for so long, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you being here. So on behalf of me and BDot couldn't be here as we talked about before, but I hope you enjoyed this episode, even though it was, we tried something different. And Awkward Intelligence, I'm Intox, and I will catch you on the next one.
Awkward Intelligence. Just smoking fast. This is Awkward Intelligence. Just smoking